How bad was it to go into any sort of house around this time? There's literally a movie called Don't Go in the House. Even just simply calling your movie house screamed danger, and don't even get me started on sorority houses. There was Sorority House Massacre, Sorority House Massacre 2, and this film, The House on Sorority Row. Don't let the lack of the word massacre in the title fool you, or that the poster is very tempting. Rest assured this is not an erotic novel bought on the dollar rack at the local shop and save. The House on Sorority Row, which got a limited release at late 1982 before going wider in January of '83, is the combination of slasher film and a little something for us critics too, as it takes inspiration from the 1955 classic Le Diabolique, as both have to do with the death of a snooty old authority figure at the school. Think a prank gone wrong slasher flick combined with the ambition of a Brian De Palma film, as the movie's writer and director Mark Rossman and the cinematographer Tim Surstedt also worked on the De Palma film Home Movies. Even the original title for it sounds a little De Palma-like, as it was written with the title of Seven Sisters, like crossing this Margot Kidder movie with a certain other sorority Margot Kidder film. But even over in Europe, they were like, we gotta put house in the title somewhere. Over here, we'll call it House of Evil. It'll have significantly less samurai than the house where evil dwells, which could have originally been called Seven Samurai Sisters. I'm running out of house movies to reference, so best we cut to the opening credits. Now we are ready to start this 80s slasher movie greatness. By that I mean Holly Golightly might be in the film. Things are very bad here in 60s sorority house, must be why it's shot in old soap opera vision.
I told you to keep an eye on her.
I was. It came on so suddenly.
Can't tell if watching the horror movie or if it's gonna pan out and this is just some old movie the lead characters are watching. Hurry, this student has home ec class in the morning. We gotta get that baby out of her fast or she's gonna miss finals. Get my tools.
She's the last one.
Oh, that's how we also treated sprained ankles back then too. Everything will be fine. See, the labor was quick.
Where's my baby?
Good news, the baby is already the dean of the students, so we work very fast in this time period. Actually, Mrs. Slater's baby didn't make it, but that's okay. She'll take in students of her own in the 80s. Line up, ladies. Get the nearest lighting guy from the porno being filmed a few dorms over. There's some other cool names attached to this too. Frequent Full Moon composer Richard Band did the score, and with the movie being shot in Pikesville, Maryland, the production designer was Vincent Peranio, who worked on a lot of John Waters movies, and Waters himself even visited the set one day. They're getting the place all fancy. Put white sheets on the furniture in case we need to turn this into a haunted house movie. These sheets will provide nice jump scares when we walk through here at night. It's sad that they're leaving soon. This place has everything.
Does anyone ever clean that pool?
That's the communal shitter, Mom. Katie is worried about what she's gonna do with her career once she graduates, while Mom has resting give me grandchildren face. Catherine will get a good job, though, by helping out the disabled in Monkey Shines, while Harley Jane Kozak has plans of her own. She'll settle down with that nice Rick Moranis, who wins her back by singing in the classroom. Wait, did I just give away that clearly Justin will be the killer again? But meanwhile, Mrs. Deagle wants to get her hands on that bastard sorority dog. She's still having some problems tracing back to the botched pregnancy.
I told you there'll be no one else at the house. It was closed for 3 months today.
She's been suffering from a dubbed voice for years. Yes, they did ADR her voice, as they thought actress Lois Kelso Hunt had the perfect look for the role, but with too nice of a voice. As for the other girls, like Vicky, they've got hot dates of their own. Well, she's gonna be the safest one on campus, and even then, this horny-ass guy is still trying to put the moves on her despite her opening fire. No matter, best have the final meeting of the Brides of Satan Club.
I want to thank you for helping me become what I am today. Wasted.
You're all drinking Pepsi AM. You're not drunk, but you are gonna be up all night. The sorority house is no place for a graduation party. I love that Mrs. Slater kicks them all out and ruins their party by going full Mrs. Crandall from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. What's even more hilarious is that this movie has the same cinematographer as Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. To think Mrs. Slater used to be cool.
It's just a shame she's gotten so weird. She used to lend a little tradition to the house, you know?
It all ended when you wouldn't turn down your bootleg CBGB tapes. Mrs. Slater may be a dictator, but who knew that being a house mother made you live like a queen? I'm assuming she's being rewarded off the souls of those she's tormented in the past. I like the music, but it does make it seem like it's set in the Amityville house. I'm getting the hunch that Slater really needs to retire. No one will be sneaking cases of Billy beer into these parties anymore. You're all just gonna have some good old-fashioned sober sex.
Look what Daddy bought his little girl.
It was nice of the professor to stop by and make sure that she really deserved that A++. Mrs. Slater is so hell-bent on teaching these rowdy girls a lesson, she's volunteered herself to be the attic body from Black Christmas. She does sense some sex going on, though, more so than your typical killer from a slasher film. Jason Voorhees has nothing on her fornication sense. And I find it very hard to believe that this is the first time anyone has had sex in these dorms. That's enough for Vicky to demand that they take revenge on Slater. Should we, though? We are at the end of our college career. She'll be out of our lives soon enough, but she destroyed my waterbed. It's the closest thing we have to a pool. You think I'm gonna jump in that thing? There's at least 2 bodies from Slumber Party Massacre 3 in that. I do like that the movie doesn't automatically start with the prank like a lot of these revenge slashers do. Typically, the prank would be within the first couple of scenes, but here, they let us get to know at least a few of the characters pretty well, and they give us a lot of backstory on Slater and the reasons she's been going insane in their last days at the sorority house, where here it's explained that she has a rapidly progressing neurological disorder to explain her dour mood. Don't get me wrong, aspects are still escalating quickly. Jesus Christ! I thought we were gonna replace her coffee creamer with cottage cheese. Who said anything about shooting her? I sure hope they're careful with that thing. Idiots! You're all idiots! Whoopsie, here's your problem. The theme to your graduation party is disco madness. While that may make the soundtrack good, it'll ruin the paint job on Slick's van when it explodes again. They are adamantly defying Slater's no-party rules by stealing her cane.
Oh, Mrs. Slater, you seem to be missing something.
Where is it?
Go check out by the pool.
Oh my god, this is gonna be great. We've got the pool filled with delicious Mountain Dew from the frat houses. This prank seems innocent enough.
I should teach you a lesson or two.
Are you threatening me?
Good lord, Vicky, please, this is going too far. After this, she'll never give me an apartment recommendation. So the idea was that they just scare her with an empty gun, but it's an 80s movie. That thing will get loaded one way or another.
Someone's gonna get hurt! Give me that gun!
Is there gonna be a killer in this, or are the girls gonna keep accidentally shooting themselves? Now for your fate, a terrible bacterial infection. I am a guard! Psych, everyone here is getting pranked, especially when they really do kill Slater. Whoa, this has more twists and drama and backstabbing than an episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Vicky should know, she's on that thing. Calling the police is the last thing any of you should do. What if you get in trouble? Here's what you do. You say it was an innocent game of tag, and then make sure you blame the nearest burnt to a crisp sexual predator. I kinda like their plan of, you know what, let's just make sure she sinks in the pool. I mean, no one ever cleans this thing anyway. It's not like she'll be found. Let's take a break before they find out that, oh right, bodies float. Oops. Come see Doug, Malcolm, and myself this weekend from September 20th to 22nd at Cleveland Gaming Classic, where I'll be there all weekend with copies of my book, movies, exclusive episodes, and more. Get your tickets now at GameCleveland.com. We're back, and there may be a body outside, but who cares? The band is here!
I gone down and said the clock's out full and off.
This band needs to be more power new wavy. I demand more. They do have a cool name though. The 4 out of 5 Doctors. Nice. Everyone's getting it on with the crusty old woman gone.
Are you in a frat?
Yeah, I'm a babe.
Really? You don't look like a group.
You're the campus cop. Cut it out. I don't know if there's a lot to choose from here.
Look at him. Ooh, yeah. He is cute.
Oh yeah, chicks love a man who keeps a life-size wampa in his basement. Bad news though, the pool boy miraculously showed up for work for the first time, and he is pissed. He'll kill the first person he sees. Slick's older brother, he'll do the trick. No dummy is off limits from your wrath. Don't let crying in a room by yourself get in the way of your blind date showing up. I've got a good feeling about Peter though. Sure, it's the only acting role for Michael Kuhn, but he did go on to be a producer on such movies like Red Rock West and Being John Malkovich. I hope he keeps the professor sweater. And no fair, he's the best looking one in the house!
Not the only one. No, no, no.
Hands off him, he's mine! No time for that now. They have to keep people from getting in the pool. Not because there's a body in there, but because if you even touch that water, you'll instantly get rabies. Only one way to stop these shenanigans. Shut off the pool generator or whatever. Something's gonna kill her. I'm still going with this house is haunted by little girl ghosts. She gets off easy. Yes, she's killed, but she has one of the less gory deaths, as the studio wanted reshoots with some added gore. Which, no joke, the director did shoot later in his parents' backyard. She's gonna miss the cattle call of the graduating ladies! So we just stand here while he plays? This is awkward. Guess we should start dancing or something.
Where's my gun?
Upstairs?
Yeah, that's what you want to overhear at every school dance. And why does everyone want to keep jumping in the pool? This thing has been filled with toxic waste for years, and then suddenly you put one dead body in it, and everyone wants to jump in. I love when they keep having to kick people out of it. It's like something that would happen on a dinner party episode of Frasier. Good God, Niles, the pool. It's really putting a damper on the party. Now they have no clue where Mrs. Slater's body is, or if she's just roaming around soaked in raccoon urine. The only thing they can do now is find the body before a couple of drunk frat guys try having sex on top of it. Just make sure you look hot while doing it.
We drink our beer from mugs of blue and gray. 7 days a week we have.
She's made a terrible mistake. Slater went up there to take a nap and she hates being woken up. Oh no, knocked out by the IMDb photographer. Good news though, it was just simply Slater's body. There's no killer on the loose, just students being students.
God, let her go! We haven't got time to waste pampering her. She's a baby.
It's like I'm watching a female Zach Morris covering up killing Slater's grandma. And the slaps will indeed prepare her for reality television as well. I like where her head's at. Is someone messing with you after you disposed of a body of a person you accidentally killed? You deserve a stiff drink, and make sure you do it while dressed like you're already prepared to haunt the house as a ghost if you die. First the rolling ball, and now this? Why are you smiling? Nothing good will come from that being there. See, she's so dead, and unfortunately died with an is there a spider on my leg face. The important thing is their blind date is going fine, once she finds the rest of her friends that are also so dead. At least she has the appropriate reaction. I don't know why the Jack-in-the-Box that came free with the Annabelle doll is here, and I don't want to know why. She doesn't care, she just wanted to skip out on moving Mrs. Slater's body. Hiding her in the swimming pool didn't work, why not try the dumpster? Oddly enough, the dumpster is much cleaner than the swimming pool. Now let's move it behind the frat house, no one will question whether those assholes did it or not. This house is full of suspense. She lights a candle to go check out the strange noises from the attic. If you do this while holding a candle, that means you will find something creepy. It's about goddamn time we gotta follow up to Tommy Pumpkins from Pumpkinhead 2. I knew that little bastard would turn out to be the killer. All these years of living in the sorority house, and she had no idea that a court jester was living upstairs the whole time. You'd think he would have made a lot of noise. Then again, it's easy to sneak up on Catherine.
Oh, God.
What are you doing up here?
So, here into clowns too, huh? Me too. I don't know, I kinda like this guy. He's so happy being in the creepy attic.
This is a neat room.
Oh my god, I had one of these when I was a kid, and a Tweety Bird cage. I used to play with all this stuff while Mom drank and forced me in sweater vests. He's happier than Diane in the obligatory van death that I'm noticing in all of these. You put a van in a slasher, and there will be weed, and the driver may not make it out alive. Though their reasoning for killing off Diane is kind of funny. They killed her off early because they thought she and Eileen Davidson, who plays Vicky, looked too much alike. And I totally know what they mean. When the movie started, I was like, oh, that's Susan from Parenthood. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Let me erase that note. Okay, that's Susan from Parenthood. There's two of them. Let's take a break, though, and relish in the relief that the van didn't explode in this movie like it did in the last one we watched. As you can see, people were ecstatic about our choices for the poll in this episode, with House on Sorority Row coming in first, and the fans were cheering with not really familiar with any of these, and I half-heartedly voted for Humongous, but I'm fine with Square Dance winning. Obviously, the right answer was curtains, to have that very appropriate windows and curtains double feature. It's still sad, though, that not enough people know of the inspiring college experience from the classic documentary School Spirit. You can vote on future choices and more by becoming a contributor at patreon.com/thecinemasnob. We're back, people. How are the girls coming along and moving the dead body? Idiots! How do you hit a cop when moving a dumpster? One rewrite, and this is a wacky comedy, like watching Estevez and Sheen try to move a corpse in the trash in Men at Work. Nothing suspicious about this. He sends them on their way when he gets another call. How do we know that the killer simply isn't someone who doesn't like people doing illegal dumps in the trash? It's bad enough they have to wake up with beer cans in the lawn every morning. They could just take it up with the writer and director about when the killer is going to strike next. The director is right there playing the piano. And ask him why his later films like the Hilary Duff double feature A Cinderella Story and The Perfect Man lacked maniac-style bathroom deaths with possessed faucets and stall throat cuts. Meanwhile, this poor bastard is like, I told myself I was going to get a kiss at the end of the night, so I am determined to help with this murder mystery or be swiftly rejected.
It's late. I think you better be leaving.
Shit, he's gonna go jerk off in my bathroom. We can still solve this mystery on our own. As long as the van hasn't blown up and we still got some weed, we'll be Scooby-Dooing this shit till we get answers. Why else would anyone go to college? Other than sit alone in their car, drunk and sad, that you neither got a kiss nor was there privacy to jerk off. He ducked out too soon. The doctor is back after she called him to provide all the exposition we need. Mrs. Slater's pregnancy was done via an experimental procedure, and she's decorated the upstairs to turn it into a room for her dead son, who may be dead, or I'm expecting him to be the yellow man from the other Black Christmas. Finally, though, she gets an idea. If you're looking for your friend's bodies, search the pool. It'll be in there somewhere, amongst the bags of Burger Chef that have been in there since 1972. As for Mrs. Slater, maybe just tossing her in an already dug grave will help, as long as no one tries driving in the van. Ah, crap. So long, Liz. I actually really like this movie. It's already a solid thriller with some fairly funny parts too, that's competently made about these delightfully assholish characters trying and failing at hiding a body. It's good dark comedy material, especially the more disheveled they get. And to make it better, they throw a slasher killer in the mix. It's a lot of fun. It does a good job at setting up the world in the first act, so all the plot points feel like good payoffs, and they are well paced, plus the actors play really well off of each other. It's a fun ride, like, no, you were only supposed to show up to give me exposition! Characters like you aren't supposed to inject me with a sedative! He's still taking her to the room, though, with the best lighting and cinematography to tell the rest of the story, like how Mrs. Slater's son Eric actually survived, which will all become clear once the drug he gave her hits and she's used as bait to catch him. Yes, she's also being used to bring out the full Brian De Palma influence on the editing. I'm sure Peter will show up and save the day.
Peter, no!
Peter is never gonna get that kiss. Seriously, they're doing a great job filming the climax. With its low budget, it was easily able to make a good profit, and though it had mixed and negative reviews at the time, it's gone on to make several lists of the best slashers of the era, with fans that even include Quentin Tarantino. It keeps you in good suspense, mainly wondering what Eric the Killer is gonna look like, and there he is, Gargamel himself! It also catches you off guard, like when suddenly she finds a severed head in the toilet. Or even when she tries trapping Eric with the toy, she's still fighting the effects of the sedative. So it's another cool trick that throws you off guard, because while you're focused on the weird flashes, oh shit, I don't think that clown is a hallucination! Although I think she may be the worst shot in an 80s slasher. She has much better luck just stabbing him. The ending is a little too quick and abrupt though. If it feels like this should have gone on longer than her pushing him down, him waking up, then it cutting to credits, that's because it was supposed to go on longer. The original ending was that they find Katie dead in the swimming pool in the clown costume, and then there was another ending where she was in the hospital and the doctor pushing her wheelchair as Eric. But the studio Film Ventures didn't want a downbeat ending, so it does end a little too quick. Plus, the poster said that nothing can prepare you for what happens when she fights back. Also, who is she? Other than that, this is a damn good slasher that's very well made, has a good sense of humor, and is sometimes sexy. And I respect a movie that skipped making any kind of sequel and just went right to the obligatory 2000s remake. If there's no Peter, then count me out of it.
Yeah, I heard Binzer failed. What? What do you care? I thought you hated him. I do, but I copied all his answers.